This is Randy Marsh here from South Park. And I'm Donald Trump. I don't know how to do a good Donald Trump. I can't see in this thing. Me neither. I can't even breathe. History for Food. What's up, everybody?
What's up? Holy shit, that's hot.
I got these masks in Amsterdam when I was in Amsterdam. And this was supposed to be the drug dealer from,
Chapo, right?
Mexico. But it doesn't quite do him justice. That's why I say Randy Marsh.
I was like, dude, that looks like Randy Marsh.
And this one was supposed to be President Donald Trump. Looks nothing like him.
No, not
This
at
guy
all.
looks more like Walter Mercado, bro. The guy does the future.
That looks like John Candy.
And he looks like one of the Marx brothers, bro. The one that plays the harp.
Yeah, dude.
Welcome, everybody, to History for Fools. Butch Escobar right here.
What's up, everybody?
Working at the Improv in Hollywood, going strong.
Oh, yeah, man.
Stop by and say hello like you always do.
Yep. Look at the new studio we're in.
Welcome to the new studio.
Yeah,
We got
man.
Xavier back there. You know, working hard, man. We don't got chairs. We only got 2 chairs, so you have to
Right.
stand there like a soldier.
We got our boy over there.
What's up, everybody, man? Have you seen that movie, Goodfellas?
Yes.
You know, like I've seen that movie probably when it came out. I had it on VHS. That's how old I am.
Right.
And I
Oh,
seen
bro,
it
it's
on
one of my
DVD.
Yeah, it's one of my favorite movies.
I read the book Wise Guys
Okay.
years ago. I read that book twice, actually.
That's the book that is based off
on
of,
Goodfellas,
right?
yeah. And written by Nicholas Pileggi, I think.
Pellegio or yeah.
Pileggi, am I right?
Yeah.
Nicholas Pileggi? Yes, Nicholas Pileggi. Actually, I read 2 of his books. Actually, 3 books he wrote. The first one was Wise Guys, which is all based on the gangs in Brooklyn, organized crime in Brooklyn right there, about a gang that used to hang out on Robert's Lounge in Brooklyn, right? East Brooklyn.
Right, yeah.
And they were part of the Lucchese family. You know, three brown Lucchese, three finger brown Lucchese, right?
Lucchese's or
Lucchese.
something. Yeah, I can't remember.
The Lucchese's.
Yeah.
And he also wrote a book, which is a great book if you want to look out for it. I think it's called Drugs in America and how to get rid of really drugs in America.
Okay.
And he broke it down, bro, like how much money drugs in America cost and how much the war on drugs has been costing.
Right.
And he figured out that a lot of his ways of dealing with it, I don't know if would you consider them conservative or liberal. Like he wants to jail the banks that money launder the money with the amount of time as the drug dealer, like give them 50 years too.
Yeah.
But is that a conservative move or a liberal move? To go after the banks, because in that book, this is what one of his things is: go after all the people involved, not just the drug dealer, because we focus too much on the street side of dope sales, like anybody was selling $20, $30 grams. When we shoot, and then you go after to catch the guy that supplies him, to get the guy that supplies the other guy, and then you finally get the main drug dealer, and you close the case and let another drug dealer come up. But he was thinking about, no, we'll go after the lawyers who hide these guys' money and the banks who launder their money, and we'll give them the exactly amount of time that we'll give drug dealers. And if you're caught for this, there'll be no more parole for these people.
Right.
Like if you get caught for money laundering drug dealers' money, 50 years, you got to serve the whole 50.
Right, I agree.
Another way he said in that book to get rid of drugs was to make our American dollars useless in other places. Like you can't use a dollar to buy stuff.
That one's hard because our dollar is so valuable in other countries. Like our cash is valuable in other countries. But I do agree with like laundering the money, or if you're aware, like right now they're dealing with a chain of hotels, Red Roof Inn, being the top end of them. That's like dealing, because like they found out that these companies know that they're being used for hookers,
Really?
And so they're trying to hold them accountable and make laws.
Red roofing.
So I think it's the same thing, man. I think if you know, you're culpable. I'm sorry. I just feel like in this country, not being like if you don't know, like is being able to say like, oh well, those are just women in our hallways, or those that money we just took it in and changed it for other money. Like fuck no, dude. You know what you're doing, dude. And I definitely think they should be held accountable. I don't know if that's a liberal. I think like conservatives would say liberals would not support that, and I think liberals say conservatives wouldn't support that. But honestly, I think just a good human being would think like, no, this is a better way to go. I think the average American. That's what's funny to me right now is I feel like the whole like two-sided thing is like everybody's going for the same thing. Nobody wants corruption in this
I think
country.
if you make that a law, it won't get enough voters that's locking up 3 Mexican fools.
No, because no, because the banks got tons of money. They're gonna put a spin on it that makes people who are either conservative or liberal, whatever side they feel that they could pander to, they will, and they'll go, well, here's what's gonna happen. It's like the whole like, oh, don't get rid of us because, or don't, if you tax big businesses are going to leave the United States. That's what everybody's afraid of, right? So that's why, because people always go,
we're going to jump them out before they leave, bro.
Yeah, and it's like, I don't know if that'll really happen or not, but that's the scare. That's why we don't tax people with lots of money. That's why we don't tax big businesses, because they stay here and create jobs or wealth or industry. And so the big scare is that if we start to tax them, which is what the conservatives say, and I'm not on either side right now. I'm just saying this is what the arguments are, you know. So it's like,
hold on, somebody just wrote on the comments.
I know.
Where is Butch going with this?
Bro, I'm so afraid of this conversation right now. I'm like, because I'm just like, especially because like,
I wish we just had a clip to press that goes to 3 plays doing a little opera real quick. You know, like a Family Guy?
Yeah.
Give me some opera.
Give me some opera. Yeah, dude, I get caught up in this. It's like so hard to not wander into bullshit.
But I'm locking up lawyers doesn't get enough playtime, you know, as locking up a bunch of minorities, bro, for drugs.
Right. Or whatever the scandal is. You know, it's like, that's what, you know, like the book we just read together was a lot about, what I was catching was like, because we're talking about a fucking heist here. And it's like nobody got hurt. The only persons that got hurt was like a huge, huge company. So what is the point of all this fanfare and writing a book about it and the fucking, there's so much law enforcement involved in their fighting? It's publicity. It's all comes down to publicity. It all came down which agent wanted to be the one that got that like figured out the case. Yeah. And it's like, that's what drives everybody. And at the end of the day, that's what's driving everybody right now. Like, fuck the people who are dying. Fuck the thousands of people you're finding in mass graves across the borders. Like, that's not interesting enough. But you know what's interesting? Fucking Mexicans coming across our borders right now.
Yeah, man. You know, immigrants staying for free at the Red Roof Inn. Making tortillas and giving out hand jobs. Where's the conspiracy about that? Where's Taco Gate?
Dude.
Hey, Los Angeles is crazy, right? Living in Los Angeles, especially if you never live here, you don't know anything.
Bro, this has been... So I've been here for 9 months. Yeah. I just counted 9 months. I've been saying 4 or 5 months for the last, 9 months. That's how long I've been here. But, I've never seen anything like this place in my entire life. And I've been everywhere with you.
Yeah, man.
Including New York, including Miami.
Los Angeles is crazy, man, because I live with a lot of people who live in Los Angeles. And I've had everybody who didn't grow up in Los Angeles or lived in Los Angeles that I've known as a comedian or actor has been carjacked. It's like a rite of passage for them to get carjacked.
Is it really?
Yeah, man. I could name a bunch of people that got carjacked, bro.
Carjacked.
Or they were just sitting on their car smoking a joint and somebody pulled a gun on them and said, "Yo, man, give me the keys." Yeah, man. But LA's crazy, man. Like people in LA, like I was at the Hollywood Improv last week, and I did a bit about how Los Angeles is the only place where a friend of yours will randomly show you a photo of the roommate pulling out a knife on them, like just randomly, and he'll smile for the photo, and that person's right here, man.
Yeah, that's me.
So he showed me that photo, and I was like, damn, bro, what did you do? He said, bro, you know what? I couldn't deal with the drama. I fucking moved out 2 days later. And I'm like, see, that's Los Angeles, man. That's not drama, bro. If I were looking up that situation in a movie on Netflix, it wouldn't be under drama or comedy or family movies. It'll be under true crime. My roommate wants to kill me.
Yeah, dude. We had someone break.
That's why I left Los Angeles. So what happened, bro?
Because I got stabbed.
But that guy, bro, he looked like he became the captain of the ship.
Bro, that moment he did, bro, and there's nothing I could do about it. My room.
First of all, take us back, bro. What was he cooking?
He was cooking fucking curry chicken. Heavy curry, but like, bro, this guy would take over
every
the kitchen
day, probably, huh?
for 3 hours a day.
Was he plucking the chicken too?
I don't know what the fuck was happening, bro, but it stunk up. So the smell would go into the hallway, and the owner of the house put doors in the kitchen so that the smells wouldn't come into our room. So I went outside, I smiled at him, I waved, I closed the door, I go in my room, I go back to playing video games, do whatever the fuck I'm doing, and then I still smell the smell heavy, bro. It comes back again. So I go out and I see the doors open. So I go to close the door again, and then I go back to my room thinking maybe one of the other roommates came and gone and didn't just left it open when they went through. And then I smell it again. I go back out and I go, hey, bro, can you do me a favor and help me keep this door closed because it really smells in my room. And whenever you cook with curry, which is every fucking day, it stinks up my clothes. And so, which I didn't say that every fucking day part. And then he goes, no, man, I can't have, dude, and he's wearing a full sweatsuit, dog. He's wearing that hood that you see him wearing.
Yeah.
You see him with the sweats. He goes, it gets too hot in here for me, bro. I can't fucking, and I go, you got a sweater and a sweatsuit on. Take that shit off. Wear some shorts or something. It's fucking LA, dude. What the fuck? And so I go, no, man, I need it closed, dude. I'm sorry. And then, so I close it and he goes, runs over, he opens it. He goes back to cooking. I go back and open it. He comes back and closes it. We start acting like little kids, bro. And he goes, I could do this all day, my friend. And I said, bro, I'm a fucking stand-up comedian. I work for 20 minutes a night. You've met the fucking king of I have all day. So I just kept opening it and he'd go run back over. And then finally he picked up the knife. He slams his hand on the knife and he rushes over and he fucking throws the door open. And he's like, close it now. And I was like, look, man, I'm no fucking slouch, dude. I know I'm a stand-up comic, but you can ask anybody from San Jose, bro. I used to work at a fucking bar called The Caravan. I used to knock motherfuckers out. But I'm a peaceful person now, and I feel like I found a different way to handle shit in my life. And so I called my roommate. I called my landlord, and my landlord's like, call the fucking cops. And I'm like, one, I don't fucking call the cops on people. Two, one time we literally had a dude break into the house, call the cops. 4 hours, the cops came later and didn't do anything. And we thought the guy left. And when the cops left, the dude came out of the house and took off. So LA cops are not worth shit, dude.
Bro, we called a cop one time, bro, and someone stole their car.
Yeah. Stole the cop car?
Took off with it, bro.
They stole the cop car?
They got in it, bro,
yeah,
and crashed.
Bro, the cops do give a fuck out here, bro. So I was like, one, I'm not going to call the cops. Two, they're not going to do anything. And then so my landlord's like, well, what do you want me to do? I'm like, can you kick him out? He's like, I can't kick him out, bro. He's like, these are Airbnb. I live in an Airbnb situation right now. I'm still looking for roommates in LA.
For real, bro.
Huh? How'd you find the first one? Airbnb?
On
monthly. It's a monthly. And then, dude, to be honest with you, dude, and just so everybody knows, bro, the landlord, coolest fucking landlord I've ever had, dude. Like, he's moved me around before. He always gives me good deals.
His roommate on looking for roommate.
Yeah. So he goes, well, he goes, I could either give you your money back. Actually, we were yelling at each other. I felt bad, man, because landlord is hella cool.
And the landlord put a knife on you.
He actually sent me my money back, but then he called me later and apologized. I apologized and said, look, man, if you want, I can move you to another place. And it's further away, and at first I didn't want to because it was in South Central, and you hear all the fucking horror stories about South Central growing up, having never been to LA, man. And
It's cleaner, huh?
I dropped my friend off once at night in South Central, and it was like kind of scary. It was like I'm like, man, I wouldn't walk around this neighborhood at night. But then I moved in there, and it is cleaner. I would walk around that neighborhood at night. Everybody's fucking nice, dude. It ended up being a good situation. And I'm learning Spanish now because all my roommates only speak Spanish.
So now you know how to say knife in Spanish.
Filete.
In my neighborhood, bro, I guess it was bad. Like, I remember, like, friends or dates would drop me off inside of where I lived, and like 100 people would try to put their hands inside the car to sell crack. Like, what you need? No
shit.
What you need? What you need?
Oh, they just
like that, bro. Like that, bro. Randomly, what you need? And I got to the point where I finally sold them to just drop me off outside of the project.
Yeah, yeah.
So they would drop me off on 4th by the freeway entrance, and then I walk in the project, and they'll get in the freeway and go home.
Yeah, yeah, dude. Because you don't want to deal with that shit. That's a bad neighborhood that does that. Like that you lived in? Yeah, bro. I mean,
it's sad that when you're a part of it, it's like
you don't know that it's
an extension of your arm.
Right. You don't know that it's a bad neighborhood that you're living in.
Like, I remember sleeping, and there used to be this guy named Danzard. I always call him Danzard, but his name was Denzel.
Right.
But because I always thought his name sound like danger, Danzard, hazard, you know. But people will go to his house, bang real hard at his house, give me my money, and then what the hell are you coming to my house knocking at 3 a.m. for?
Right.
And they have a fist fight in the living room that leads to outside. Man, y'all waking up my neighbors. Shit, we've been away since you moved in.
Bro, that's the thing, though. Is like, because you're like, the joke that you're telling is that, like, to me, bro, that was my option was to just move. But it was like, I didn't, like, that's the thing is, like, I don't even think to do anything. I mean, my first thought was to fuck him up.
But then what?
But then I was like, I don't want to fight nobody. I'm not a violent person anymore.
How was that curry, though? You never give you some?
He never gave it. Fuck that motherfucker, bro. I fucking stuck my dick in that shit, dude, like, before I moved out. Like, yeah, bro, I did that. I put my... I put my penis right in his fucking 5-layer dip, bro. Fuck that motherfucker, dude.
How far in that layer did your dick go in?
We cut that part out, bro.
Did you get to the guacamole? Did you get to the beans at least,
That's
bro?
the top layer, you dick.
Because one time, bro, I made it to the 4th layer on a 7-layer dip. And I'm glad that they make it because the next layer was salsa. That should be a little movie. American Pie. Nah, bro. Mexican tortilla. Mexican tostada. Hey, remember that one time at Banda Camp? Those drug dealers took us to do that show blindfolded. Or that one time we had to perform in the freeway and our spotlight was their trucks. They made us eat that fucking meth we bought at the other rancho, eh?
It'd be a completely different movie. Completely different movie.
Yeah, man. What's up, everybody? We all seen Goodfellas. All my life I wanted to be a gangster. The story of Henry Hill. If you want to know about Henry Hill, the real Henry Hill, look him up on Wikipedia. Look him up on he has a lot of books. Also, if you want to laugh with Henry Hill, he has a lot of interviews that you can look up on YouTube with Howard Stern.
Yeah, that's how I grew up.
And we're mainly gonna focus on the big robbery because the first robbery was when they robbed the Iowa. It was called the Iowa before it was Kennedy was called
Idlewild. Idlewild Airport.
Idlewild Airport. That's that part in Goodfellas when they're chilling right there outside the diner, and they were robbing the Air France. This time they robbed the Air France the first time.
Right.
And they gave everybody their due. It's funny in the movie how I don't know how much money they took, but they gave Paulie his tribute. And if you notice in the movie, they didn't give him what he was supposed to get, huh?
Right, yeah.
It was less.
They shorted him.
He got 60,000 out of what?
They stole $500,000.
Yeah.
$480,000 is what they.
And plus the jewelry.
They got out of the Air France plus 30. It was like plus 30,000 in jewels or something like that.
Yeah.
I can't remember. I fucking started on this book 3 days ago.
So that was the beginning of they were investigating these people that worked at inside the airport, and they never found them. There was a guy named Frenchie, and he's also in the movie. He's played by that guy from Dumb and Dumber, the one that eats the hot chili pepper inside the car.
Yes, dude, that's right. It is that guy. So that guy's name.
He's the guy that says, "Come on, man, I'm the commandant."
That guy's name is Frenchie McMahon.
Frenchie McMahon.
Robert Frenchie McMahon.
The actor?
No, the guy that when you first watch Goodfellas, and they do the Air France heist, that particular character is Robert Frenchie McMahon, and he's the one who leads them up to the first one.
Oh man, he's a good actor, bro.
He's a good ass actor.
Anyway, that actor that played Frenchie, the real Frenchie, that actor has a funny ass part in Uncle Buck, tiny little part. He shows up at the birthday party as a clown, all fucked up.
Oh yeah, that's him.
Yeah, and he smells like whiskey, and he has a cigar. Hey, come on, pal.
That's so funny.
And then John Candy punches him in the nose, and it makes that clown noise.
Yeah, bro, that's a good scene. That guy did. That guy does play a good role in that.
So there's a guy named Martin Klugman, and he's the guy that in Goodfellas. He's the guy with the wigs.
Maury's wigs.
He's Maury Wiggs. And Maury Wiggs, that actor, is played by Robert De Niro's lawyer.
That's really Robert De Niro's lawyer?
And best friend.
Get the fuck out of here. He's in other movies too, though, right?
Yeah, all De Niro movies.
Yeah, he's in... Oh, that's right. He is.
Yeah.
Shit.
So Marty is like a bookmaker, and he loans money out to people, and... people owe him money and blah blah blah. He's a bookie. He loans out money.
He's a little more serious than the character in the movie.
Yeah, he's more serious. He's not fat. He's skinny.
Right.
And he does have commercials where he sells wigs.
Right.
Marty's wigs.
But it's a front for his Shylocking business.
Yeah. And he also plays bets for people. The loan shark, right?
Loan shark. That's what he is.
Yeah. And he just plays bets. He did a lot of crimes with Henry Hill, like him and Henry Hill. They There's a 30 for 30 on this, on ESPN. Marty Klugman, Henry Hill, and Jimmy the Gent. They fixed basketball games for Boston College.
For the Boston Eagles.
Yeah, man.
Yeah.
And there's a 30 for 30 on that one.
So in the movie, because I just watched the movie. I finished the book last night. That we're reading. It's called the Lufthansa Heist. And I haven't watched Goodfellas in its entirety in probably like over a decade. I mean, I've seen clips, everything, dude. It's one of my favorite movies. There's a lot of nods from the storyline, dude. I don't know. I didn't read the book, the Goodfellas book. Or what is it called? Wise Guys?
Wise Guy.
So I don't know how much better, but I felt like this did a really good... This is Henry Hill's own version of this.
And Wise Guys, they don't focus too much on Lufthansa Heist, but they do... it's mainly just like the movie, but in the Lufthansa Heist, so Martin Klugman, he's a what you call it? He's a bookie. And there's a guy that works at the airport that owes that fool a shitload of money. And he's at his end. And he's inside the fucking, he works for the Air France. So he walks up to somebody and I think Werner.
Werner.
Somebody named
okay,
Werner.
So you're talking about Lufthansa. He works for
who's
Lufthansa.
Werner?
Werner is he's the inside guy to the whole thing.
Frenchie worked there too, right?
Right. Frenchie worked for Air France.
Yeah.
And so Robert Frenchie was on the Air France. He just was on the crew for the Lufthansa heist. but he helped them mastermind the Air France heist, which led him to help during the Lufthansa heist. But the mastermind, I mean, the guy who kind of tipped him off. So you got Maury from Maury's Wigs, right? That's the guy who, and in the movie you see him talking about it. He goes, "I want to talk to you about this, my friend."
And
there's a guy named Werner, and that guy's the real guy who knew all the ins and outs.
He's the one that actually approached Marty Cloak, that guy, the Wigs guy,
right?
And he told him, "Man, hey man, I know I owe you a lot of money and all that, man, but I've been working on this deal for a long time." He goes, "I don't want to hear that. I don't want to hear it. So if you could just get a crew together, man, maybe, and get somebody to do this, or else I'm gonna go with somebody else." So he goes to that guy, and then that guy goes with Henry Hill, and then man, how much that Wig guy bugged Henry to tell Jimmy, bro? For how long?
Dude, in the movie, they do a very good description.
But he begged more to get the deal done.
So much more.
He
like
everybody.
He pushed so hard on them. Like, that's the thing, bro. And then in the book, dude, he goes, in the movie too, but in the book, he does it to Jimmy's face where he's like, "I'll fucking tell a DA if you guys don't give me my money." And I'm like, how did all these other fucking guys die before this guy died? Like, he ended up dying too, but he wasn't the first to die.
Yeah, so they get Jimmy, which is the real guy is Jimmy.
So
Jimmy the Gent, what?
Jimmy the Gent.
Calhoun.
No. Jimmy the Gent.
Barkley.
Conway.
Jimmy the Gent Conway. He's an Irish guy.
His real name is Jimmy Burke, though.
Yeah, he's a Jimmy Burke in the movie. In real life, his name is Jimmy the Gent Burke, and he's an Irish guy. And this guy, of course, he brought up Henry Hill as a kid, and he brought up Tom Pesci. Well, the real guy name is Tommy DeSimone, and in the ranks, right?
Right.
So Jimmy, he planned the whole thing with Warner and Frenchie,
right,
and set it all up. Okay, Henry was out, because he was like fresh out of parole and on probation, and he wanted to go back to prison for life. Plus, he was already selling heroin and about to sell cocaine and dealing with the Boston Eagles. So he didn't want nothing to do with the robbery. So, man, they planned it all out. They got what's his name? Stax. There is a Stax.
Yeah.
He's a saxophone player, and he hangs out at the Robber Lounge bar with all these Goodfellas guys, all these wise guys. And he was in charge of, like in the movie, in charge of getting rid of the van. But this guy ended up going with his hot baby mama, and he goes, "Come on, baby, I know you got little snoots, you got little dudes." So he decides to do a little bit of put your baby in the carriage. So he goes over there to do some coke and some blow, and ends up spending the night, and they stole his car.
Bro, that's the craziest part to me, bro. Is like, this thing would have gone off, and it was estimated $4.5 million that they had ended up taking out of that. There was rumors that it was up to $6 million, but I think what we ended up finding out was that $4.5 million. They would have gotten away with it scot-free if that stupid motherfucker had just driven to the fucking junkyard and trashed the van.
Also, they didn't show it in the movie, but the real Tommy took his mask off in the robbery.
Yeah, they did. Yes.
And they were saying, a lot of these robbers were saying their real names, and in real life, in the Wise Guy book, Tommy, even when they tell him, "Hey, Tommy, go shine your shoes," his shoes were spit shine.
That's right.
So that was noticeably, like, sooner or later they were going to realize who are these assholes wearing shiny shoes.
Right. Spit shine Tommy.
In the movie, they just show you that Stax was murdered, and that was it.
Well, they don't...
Actually, Tommy loved Stax in real life.
Right.
Like, he loved them. Like, that was his boy.
Right.
Like, his boy. Like, they did a lot of crimes together. Identity theft.
He was really
car
sad
robbery.
when he had to
He
kill
was
him.
tight. And then when the first time Jimmy told him to whack him, he made excuses for him. Nah, man, this thing, it ain't like that, Jimmy. Blah 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 blah. But it finally came from the top. Paul Vario said, "That stupid motherfucker has to go." So man, because there was Tommy was the one that when they went to the mattresses when they hit him, he's the one that found a hiding spot for him.
He took him to his hiding spot.
He was the only one that did it.
That's Joe Pesci's character.
But what we didn't know in real life was this, that at the same time that they were setting up Tommy, at the same time when he killed Stax, he was being set up too.
Right.
Because now that he did this he was loyal and he had to kill his friend, they knew that he was a man of honor, somebody they could be counting on. So when they told him that you're gonna be made, he was bugging them. And come on, man, did that hurt him, man? Am I gonna get made?
Right.
Am I gonna get made?
Right.
So in the movie, he was killed by a part of his own crew, the Lucchese's. But in real life, when he walked into that room, John Gotti was there.
That's the crazy thing, bro, is that he was killed by John Gotti.
John Gotti was
in real
there.
life. So when you watch
in the movie, in real life, he saw John Gotti, and then he turned his back, and then John Gotti he blew his brains off.
So when you watch Goodfellas, when you go back to watch Goodfellas, and you see that guy shoot Joe Pesci in the back of the head, in real life, and it's actually because they do a good job. I would say Scorsese does a good job of sticking to the story as much as he possibly can to make the movie interesting.
Bro, he didn't want to get murdered like the motherfuckers that made American Me.
Well,
bro.
because he kills that one homie.
He didn't take no privileges, bro.
What's the name of the
in
one?
American Me, they just put everybody's real name and addresses.
They
bro.
did not give a fuck in American Me, bro.
But
yeah, Scorsese did a good job of hiding the names. He replaced the names. But in the movie, the guy that tells him, "No, go get your fucking shine box." So Benny Bats. So that's actually
in real life. His name is Foxy, huh?
Yes, and then he killed the two guys that were John Gotti's men. And so when Paulie goes to pass Joe Pesci's character Tommy in real life, John Gotti goes, "Don't fucking pass that guy.
He killed two of my main guys.
He killed two of my main guys. I'll give you this much money to let me kill him." And that guy Paulie was like, "No fucking problem, bro." Didn't even think about it. It was just like, "Yeah, go for it, dude."
Because when Henry Hill went to prison, Tommy DeSimone had made moves on Henry Hill's wife, and that was against the rules.
Right.
And he had put his penis out too.
Hey, Paulie fucked Henry Hill's wife, though.
Is that mentioned in that book?
It's mentioned in that book.
It is? But
Paulie fucks Henry Hill's wife, Karen. Like, that's why. And then in the movie, I was watching the movie last night, and Paulie goes, "Remember when he leaves Karen?"
I know how to talk to her.
He goes, "I know how to talk to her. Trust me. If anybody knows how to talk to her, I know how to talk to her." And then it's a real quick look, and then they cut to the scene. There's so many nods like that. Scorsese is, bro, because we covered a Scorsese movie like this in another way when we did Gangs of New York. And again, man, he really, really stuck to the finer points. He did embellish or do other things to make the movie interesting. But there's so many times like that where I was like, "Oh, now I know why that scene's like that."
In that movie, in the book Wise Guy, they mentioned that the cops never found fingerprints on the van, but they still printed it out as they have fingerprints.
Right, they told everybody they did.
But they never did. And they pretty much caused the murder of everybody.
But in the book, it says that they did?
No, in the book, Wise Guy, they never found fingerprints.
They never found fingerprints.
In this book, they never found fingerprints either.
Yeah, and then everybody, a lot of people died.
But they put it out there like they did, and that caused a lot of murders.
Oh, isn't that crazy? Like, that's the
thing,
they
caused the murder, bro. Okay, they got away with a bank. Matter of fact, there was so much money, man. They even gave me a cut, bro.
Oh. Can I see one of those?
Hey, this is what happened when you're Henry Hill asking Paulie that you need help.
Where did you get a stack?
Hey, that's like I pretended when Henry Hill got arrested, he had no more money, and he asked Paulie for money, bro.
Oh yeah, that's right.
I need help.
I need help. I'm different now. I'm trustworthy. Bro, these look so real.
Come back every week, bro. You got another one there.
Bro, these look hella real, dude. Holy shit.
Yeah, bro. This is how they pay you in Corpus Christi, bro.
Yeah, dude.
So people started dropping like flies. The more Polly and Jimmy got paranoid about who they're gonna catch, huh?
Yes, and that's the thing that's weird about this whole story is that had the cops done nothing, nobody would have died.
How about when the cops thought that the mayor was involved?
That's the best part. The governor,
The big Irish.
right? So like, there's this part that we find out that Henry Hill is making all these calls talking about the big Irish guy from Albany, and the district attorney is like, "Oh, we got the fucking governor. This is gonna be the biggest like news break of the century," and so they give Henry Hill this huge deal to basically get him off. They sign the deal, and then they go, "Okay, give us the goods," and he tells them everything, and the guy's like, "Wait a minute. Who are you talking about?" He goes, "Yeah, when I talk about the big Irish, I'm talking about
Jimmy Burke.
Jimmy Burke." And he goes, "I thought you were talking about the governor." And he goes,
Dewey.
"No."
Mayor Dewey.
And he goes, "Who the fuck is Mayor Dewey?" And he's all, "The governor. Were you talking about the governor?" And he goes, "No." He goes, "I just gave you the fucking deal of a century so you could fucking give me the governor." And he goes, "Are you fucking kidding me? I know, I'm talking about Jimmy Burke." And so this whole time, and he ends up getting the deal still. Because when they go to the judge to dispute it, you know, that's the thing is under those rules, man, if you make a deal with someone and they sign away on it, you know, and this is the one thing that I learned in the book. This is what
Henry was but I got bodies.
he goes,
He told that guy that I got bodies.
right.
Jim buried people.
Then he goes, he's buried. He goes, well, so then, but what I was saying was that they when the government gives you a deal, they have to stick to the deal after you sign it. And Henry Hill, dude, this book should be called The Luckiest Man in the Fucking World, bro. Because I didn't realize how lucky Henry Hill is, bro, in life. In life in general, this guy's a fucking complete loser. I remember listening to him on Howard Stern and thinking, like, this is the guy that Ray Liotta plays in the movie, this smooth character. He sounds like a fucking
How about when that fool didn't know how to say concierge?
He said
Concierge.
No, he said
Consuelo.
something, bro. I can't remember now.
Cursier.
What were we saying? We were saying to Lisa earlier. It was
He didn't know how to say
he didn't know how to say concierge, and he kept saying
Conjurian.
something like some weird
Conjurious.
conscientious.
Conscientious.
He goes, yeah. He's the hotel conscientious, and the guy's all, what the fuck is a hotel conscientious, Henry Hill? And he goes, you know, the guy that fucking tells you where everything's at in the hotel. And he's like, the concierge.
How about when he was in federal protection and he was in Martha's Vineyard and he didn't know that there was fresh fruit over there?
Yeah, when he was driving out. Like, he'd only been in the city.
Like, that guy put in 200,000 miles in his Cadillac only in Brooklyn, bro.
In Brooklyn, just driving around. Like, that was the thing. Because, yeah, when they drive him out to the witness protection in the Hamptons, he realizes, like, there's, like, forests out there and there's food. There's, like, fresh fruit. He's, like, talking about the vineyards and the strawberry fields. And he's just totally blown away by how much nature is in fucking New York. Because he's never left, like, the city of New York.
In the movie, they show that guy did really buy a Cadillac, huh?
No, he didn't. You're talking about what was his name? Ground beef or roast beef?
Yeah.
What was his name again? Roast beef, right?
Yeah.
They called him roast beef. Yeah, wasn't the one who bought the Cadillac. It was Jimmy who bought the Cadillac in the book. Like, that's the thing is there's a lot of push around on stuff like where it was like, okay, that actually happened, but it didn't happen to that guy. And I think again, you're right about how Scorsese was just being smart not to have a hit on him.
In the movie, the guy that they find in the freezer in the movie, his name is Carbone, but in real life, the cop the federal officer that was investigating the case, his name is Carbone.
Carbone, and the guy got found in the fridge is Seppi.
Angelo Seppi.
Angelo Seppi.
But then he didn't die like that. You said, because I asked you how did he die.
Well, he didn't die at the hands of Burke.
Oh no, by someone else.
He just died coincidentally by someone else that he owed money to.
Oh.
And then they locked him in a freezer, and he ended up just like they couldn't find him for like days, and it did take him 2 days to thaw out. And that's again what the movie did, was like it would take a situation like that and then put it somewhere else.
Bro, how about when those fools were that bank robbery was they got away with it, but it was sloppy, huh? Like a lot of people were.
You mean the heist?
The Lufthansa heist. A lot of they don't show you this in the movie, but in real life, a lot of the employees were already guessing who knew too much about. Hey man, how did they know how to get into that door? How did they know to open the key? Who gave them the code? How did they know this guy was not gonna work today? They were talking about themselves.
Again, it was all luck, man. A lot of this is luck because, like, as I'm reading this, you know, we watch these, like, I was saying this earlier when we were talking to Lisa, where it was like all these movies make these guys seem like they got suits and they got these hats and the pinstripes and the fucking Cadillacs, and they seem real smooth and like they're really sharp guys. And you reading this book and they're fucking idiots. Like, they're all idiots, and a lot of it is they got lucky, but, like, there's, like, instances where two of them take their mask off in front of, like, some of the guys.
They say their names.
They say their names. Stax fucking leaves the van. Like, none of this was, like, done well at all. And it's crazy how they even got as far as they did by getting that guy's keys out, like, by sneaking.
How about when they found out, every time the news kept adding another million to the money, more of the robber wanted more money.
Right. Yeah, that was the other thing too. Was like, that's what was. Again, man, I go, man. If the cops weren't doing all these announcements in the news, a lot of people wouldn't have died, because what started to happen is that they were lying about how much money was missing, and that was causing the gang to think that Jimmy was ripping them off because he was keeping the money, like you see in the movie. And then so they started to trip out, get upset, and bug Jimmy. And then that's when Jimmy started capping him. The thing about the facts of this case is that at the time that it was done was the largest heist in the country.
No cameras.
No cameras. And then to this day, it's the most like the money has never been returned. It's the largest heist that has never had the money returned, and there was no arrest made on the heist.
They spent it all on papaya.
Bro, they didn't. Every guy that they found out was part of the heist died almost within a couple of days of them finding out. Like, that was the thing that the book didn't mention, and neither did the movie, that there was a mole inside the government agencies. Because literally when they would find out a person, either their fingerprints or someone identified or whatever, that person died like within 2 days of the government finding out who it was.
Remember that one dude that he was 19 years old, pot saddler, and he was giving him a bunch of information, and then they gave him a day off from snitching, and they found him they found him in that bar.
Yeah,
and that
Bobby
guy goes,
Jr.
Bobby Jr.
Bobby Jr.
He goes, yeah, man, I have a pound of weed. How come that guy be so stupid? Just go into the car with that guy,
bro. That's the guy who knocked out Henry Hill for dealing drugs in the movie, right? His name's Bobby Jr. They give him a day off from narking. He goes and hangs out in a bar. Bro, your whole job is to be a narc. The last place I would be is in a fucking bar hanging out.
But this fool, like, and I'm thinking in a book, okay, Bobby Jr. thinking that he's going to hook up with this guy, and he's thinking that he's going to, I thought he was going to start selling weed on the side, maybe.
Nah.
But nah, this fool just hooked up with this guy to get him, to get caught. To set him up. So his own greediness got him, bro.
Well, and again, in this book, like, the guy who plays played by Robert De Niro, Jimmy Burke, kills so many people, bro. Because Bobby Jr. narcs out Henry Hill for selling drugs. And so what Jimmy Burke does to protect himself is he goes and he kills this guy, Bobby Jr., for narking out his buddy instead of like it's crazy, bro. This guy just
Then
kills.
they cut that dude in pieces. What's her name?
Oh, the girl. They cut the girl in half, bro.
Whose girlfriend was that?
That was Jimmy's girlfriend. So she starts to trip out and can't find Jimmy, and she starts to talk about narking everybody out. It's not Jimmy's girlfriend. Sorry, Tommy's girlfriend. Tommy,
the guy who plays drug dealer.
The guy who plays Joe Pesci. It's his girlfriend. And
you guys didn't even back him up.
So she starts to talk about narking out everybody. Then she starts to talk about knocking out Jimmy for the Lufthansa heist. And then all of a sudden she goes disappearing. And then those people having an affair. That dude, no. That's the other thing that I liked about this book was that it was an older man having an affair with a teenage girl. And they were fucking on the beach. And a half a body rolled up on them while they were banging. And so they freak out. That guy goes to jail. Bro. The girl ends up having to go to therapy for years, and it's just a torso on the beach. That book is crazy, bro. I really like
Torsolini.
I like how it was a better. I didn't read the other book that the movie was based off, but I really felt like whoever wrote this book, it wasn't Henry Hill.
Yeah, it was Henry Hill and somebody named Frank DeSimone.
No, I'll tell you who it is.
No, the Lufthansa heist.
Daniel Simone.
And then Henry Hill.
No? And Henry Hill. So Daniel Simone probably did most of the writing because he did a really good...
man. I don't think... Because there were some words in that book that I don't think Henry Hill would ever come out of his mouth. Like when he was talking about how when before they were busted, right? How he was already doing so much coke that he was having these low class orgies, bro, with ugly motherfuckers.
Right.
I had to look that word up, bro. I wish you could find that word, bro.
Which word?
He said some word about having these orgies, and I had to look up the word, and it was just like low class, like
a low class,
like crackhead orgies, bro.
Oh, I wonder what word that is, dude.
I'll find it right now.
Let's see where it's... Dude. Anyway, so I really like... Sorry if I'm fucking having a brain fart. How long did it take you to read the book? It took me like 3 days.
Yeah, me too.
It's the fastest I've ever read a book because it was so good. It was like the fastest I've read a book in quite a while. Because it took me like no time at all. It was so good. Were you looking up the word?
Yeah. But it was like, I don't know the name of the word, but it was low class.
Like a low class orgy. Dude, I want to know what word is like low class orgy is its meaning.
It was a word like debauchery, but very low.
Oh.
Debunk? No.
No.
Huh? Debudge.
Debudge?
Yeah.
Get the fuck out of here.
Debudge orgies. There it is. Debauch orgies.
How do you spell that?
D-E.
Uh-huh.
B-A-U-C-H.
The debauch is bad.
Debauchery.
Yeah,
debauchery.
He said debauch orgies, which is bad, right? Not good ones.
Yeah.
Yeah, so it was like...
It's just dirty.
By that time, Kate, he said that Karen didn't even care.
She did not give a fuck, bro.
Bro.
At the end of the book, she's like, hey, can you not fuck other people? Can you just like now that we're living on the in protective custody? She names like 6 girls that he fucked.
He must have some game, huh? Or just like those last chicks that want to get high or something.
Bro, how? Yeah, how? I want to know like what that life was like because
in real life, that fool looked like Buster Keaton, huh?
He
the
looked,
comedian.
Yeah, he looked cracked out. Like Henry Hill does not look like the Ray Liotta in that film. Ray Liotta doesn't
They
look
doing
like
justice, huh?
that guy either.
That's why my movie, bro, I wanted to be played by somebody good looking, bro. Hopefully I'll be alive by then.
Like Antonio Banderas.
He wishes.
Yeah, dude, it was a nice quick book that we read because we weren't sure when we were gonna do the podcast, so we kind of just picked up something right away and took off with it.
And it's funny how Henry Hill and everybody was dealing drugs, but Paulie said no, but he's still taking that money.
He was still taking all his money from him, but in the movie he tells him, like, I get it, like, but no more after you get out of prison. So, and again, Lisa did remind us both.
Remember,
this is written by Henry Hill. So,
remember when Paulie says, "You think I'm gonna be like such and such, who said hello to somebody who was dealing behind his back, and now he's doing 50 years in prison?"
Yeah, who's he? Biggs or something like that.
He's talking about when Lucchese died.
Okay.
Lucchese died. They made that guy the head of the Lucchese family, while Dux Corrado was in prison.
Oh, that's what he was referencing.
Yeah, so that gangster, he actually was dealing though.
Right.
He actually was dealing.
Really?
But when he got busted, somebody waved at him.
Oh.
And he went to go do. That guy was he was a criminal.
I was trying to figure out what because I rewinded that part.
Yeah,
like
in that
3
book,
times
in
last
that book, when he goes, you think I'm gonna be like, what's his name?
Biggs.
You think I'm gonna be like Biggs? I can't think of her name right now, but you could see. I'll look it up.
Yeah, because I was watching last night. Like I said, I was watching the show last night.
Who took over the Lucchese family after Lucchese died?
He's talking to him like just in a conversation in the backyard. That's when he's telling him not to sell drugs anymore. And then he gives him a slap across the face.
When Lucchese died of brain tumor in 1967, Carmine Tramunti, that's him. Carmine Tramunti.
Tramunti.
Anyways, long story short, that's that guy.
Damn, bro. That guy looks like a gangster. He looks like a Rodrigo.
And that guy did own a cab stand, Paul Barrios.
Oh yeah, Tutty. In the movie, it's Tutty, but it's Paul Barrios' cab stand.
And man, but they didn't show they didn't talk about too much in the book about how they took over that restaurant, huh?
They did a little bit, and again, I think the restaurant in the movie is a nod to. They didn't talk too much about it. It was just a little bit, but I think in the movie when he takes the restaurant from him. It's a nod to what actually happened was that the guy owed he owed Henry Hill money.
Oh, and he took that restaurant.
And Paulie said, "I'll recommend that you take the restaurant, and then that way you could pay it off." So
Isn't
that guy
crazy,
that guy owed somebody a loan shark money.
Another mobster.
A
made man.
And if Henry Hill bought the restaurant, it would go under Paulie's name, and then that guy would have to forgive the loan that Henry Hill took from the guy. So the guy was like, "Hey, if you buy my restaurant, you buy the loan, and it's better if you buy the loan because I can't pay the loan off." And then what happened is once Henry Hill bought the restaurant with the loan, because he worked under Paulie got the loan completely forgiven.
Yeah, but now remember Paulie said, now you got to give me $1,000 a week.
You got to give me $1,000 every fucking Friday, whether you do well or not.
To Henry.
To Henry. Is that what it is?
Yeah, because
I was confused because I thought he was telling Henry to give him the $1,000 a week. And I was like, that didn't make sense to me. But
Yeah,
that
because
makes-
Henry owned the restaurant with Paul Verrill's backing,
right.
and that guy's loan is gone, and then Henry owns the restaurant, and then now he has to pay Paulie now $1,000.
$1,000.
And I'm pretty sure that fool has to pay something to that other family too.
Right. Shit, dude.
It's
That's
not
a,
It's not connected. That
that's a shitty place to be in, man. Like, that's the
imagine,
thing.
bro, you bought a restaurant, but you still gotta pay the guy $1,000. That's $4,000 a month. That's a lot of money back then.
Yeah, and he's buying you out of a loan though that you could get killed doing. So it's like, those guys,
4,000, bro, times 10, right?
right?
How much is that?
I mean, this is also during the 60s.
40,000?
So you have to adjust for inflation.
No, back then though, 4,000, because you're paying them $1,000 a week, and there's four weeks out of the month. That's 4,000 times 10 is what, 40? How much is that?
40. So he has to pay him $44,000 a year.
The loan wasn't even that much.
48,000 a year.
48,000, bro. The loan wasn't even that much.
That's crazy,
How much
bro.
was the loan, bro?
Yeah, but he was getting out of getting his legs broke.
But that guy couldn't pay it all
The
at
loan
once.
was like 12,000 or
And
something.
he couldn't pay all at once.
No. So he was like, "Fine, we'll take it, but you owe us $1,000."
Imagine, man, that you owe this guy 20,000, the other guy, and you gotta pay the VIG, which is the 5%. So 5% out of that 20,000. If it was 10%, you gotta pay 2,000 a week.
2,000.
So
So
this
it's
motherfucker's paying 1,000 a week. That's
1,000 a
that's
week.
what the other guy was paying, 1,000 a week for a whole. So man, I already paid up the loan, but you gotta pay the whole thing at once to get out of the loan. So that's how they get you, huh?
That's how they get you. And then they
Fucking jewelry stores.
they plunder you. Your business goes to shit. You lose everything. You fucking, and you're fucked, bro. Like at the end of the day, all you get is your life. That's it. Like completely draining.
That's how I took over 2 churro stands, bro, in Boyle Heights.
That's the thing. I wonder how often that happens now on a smaller level here. Like, because LA is not a mob city. It's not like a mafia town. But this is like, I feel like mafia just did small crimes on a big level. And so like that's the one thing that I learned is like, all the mafia was doing was collectively doing all these small crimes. And they were all,
Like-
all the money was moving
Like
upwards.
if somebody were to call you up and go like this, "Hey man, I know you owe me $5,000. It's been a year since you paid me. You haven't paid me. You've been avoiding me. There's this guy that's gonna pay your loan, right? He's gonna give me the 5,000, but now you're gonna owe him $10,000, and I'm out of this deal now, bro. So it's now between
It's
you
now
and him.
between you two. And that's how they did that shit, bro. It's like in Friends.
That's how they got Bobby Brown. We'll talk about that next time.
Yeah, I can't wait to talk about that next time. But that's like in Friends world, bro. It's like, let's say you loan me $100, right? And now I owe you $100, and then someone else owes you. I'm trying to think about this scenario, bro. Like I owe you $100, and someone owes me $100, $200, right? And so instead of paying me, I have them pay you. No, I'm fucking this up
Bro,
right now, bro.
you're trying to confuse yourself with a Ponzi scheme right here. You're talking about paying Peter to play Paul.
I think I just hustled myself right now.
That's
Well-
why people stick knives on you, bro.
All I'm saying is, bro, is like, it's like taking someone else's loan from them, and then it's now I have to pay you more.
You know what's crazy happens in real life is that they were bugging me, bro, for this Montgomery Ward who doesn't exist. I bought an oven from them and a refrigerator.
Yeah.
And I never paid them. So when I One Last Comic Standing, the loan was still floating somewhere, right?
That's what I want to know.
So
Yeah.
I paid it. It was, and it, somebody bought that loan.
Okay.
You know, it's funny. Like the loan was just say the Montgomery Ward. I owe them money for that oven and the refrigerator. Just say I owed them a sweet $800, right?
Right.
So I never paid them.
Right.
So this other company comes in and goes, and I know, man, you guys were trying to get $800 from this guy, but what you gonna buy the loan? So they buy the loan now for $600, right? The company said, all right, at least we got
It's an
$600.
$800 loan to you.
Yeah, they buy it for $600.
Right.
Now they come back at me and they're talking about with interest and all. I owe them $900.
Right.
So they're trying to profit of my fucking hard times.
Right. That's all and that's happening right now. When you
Yeah.
get calls.
So they're trying to get at me, but this is what happened. I already paid that shit off. So they're whistling Dixie right now.
Right.
Bro. There's no more loan.
Well, dude, I'm having
They bought a lemon.
I'm trying to fix my credit right now as we speak. And you remember Sprint, the cell phone company Sprint?
Yeah.
When they went out of business, they announced it like
Sprint was the one that was yellow and black?
Yes.
They don't exist no more?
No. They went in.
Oh shit!
They got absorbed by T-Mobile.
I confused them with Spirit Airlines.
So when I thought it was too. I thought it was owned by the same company. So Sprint, when they announced that they were going out of business,
can I have a shout out? Shout out to Sprint and Rosemead, man. The Sprint store, hottest chicks.
check them out, bro.
They don't exist no more, bro. They all work at Ojos Locos.
So
now.
this is the thing, bro. So Sprint said they were going out of business. So I let my fucking bill go up for like 3 months before I switched over to T-Mobile. Because I was like, they're going out of business. They're not going to come after me. And then I have all my credit shit taken care of. I was paid off a bunch of stuff. And this thing kept popping up. And I looked it up yesterday on the computer. And it's still the fucking Sprint bill. And I'm like, how it's like, how do I owe you money when you're dead? That's like someone loaning me money, they die, and I still owe them fucking money. Like, I don't understand how that happened, but yeah, I got to pay.
Somebody bought the loan.
Someone bought the loan, I think. But it doesn't say who bought the loan. It just says this Sprint bill is out of like, what do you call it? It's still like due. So I don't know, man. But yeah, it's weird how you could watch the mafia do shit, you know, and really like at the end of the day, people are just getting killed in the mafia. But businesses do this shit all the time. Except people don't die from it. Maybe
jump
they
out
die
of windows.
Maybe they die from stress or they jump out of windows. But yeah, dude.
You know who's making all the money back then, bro, doing the Lufthansa heist? Funeral parlors.
Funeral parlors were making tons of money. How many that guy killed like 9 people.
Oh, but you know, actually not really that much money because they hide the bodies.
Right. Well, Jimmy Burke was hiding them in his basement.
Remember when he went to go look and somebody warned him and he took them all out?
That's what I'm saying. There was a government, bro. The one thing the book didn't really mention that much was that there's a mole. They mentioned it during that moment. But
Harris? Was his name was Harris?
The
mole.
They don't talk about the mole. They don't talk about the mole at all. They just said that there might be someone working in the department. And that's when they go to dig up Jimmy Burke's basement and find that he had already removed the bodies. But I was like, but there was like also in the trend in the book was that after the government found something out, 2 days later that person would die, and then only once did they mention a mole, and I'm like, there's a fucking mole the entire time.
Also, man, Jimmy Burke, Jimmy the Gent. If you watch Goodfellas, when they're at Tommy's mother's house and they're eating spaghetti, he puts ketchup on his spaghetti. That's all true. He really puts ketchup because he's Irish.
Yes.
And
yeah,
that's what they do. Also, penne
gross.
pasta is very spicy if you're not Italian. So I'm pretty sure that he was putting ketchup on it so it won't be so hot.
That's what he was, because I noticed that he was spinning the bottle with his hands, and I was like, this guy's just putting ketchup on his spaghetti. But that's what they do. That's fucking disgusting, dude. That's so foul. Get some fucking Prego, my bro. Like, I don't know, man. I remember. Do you remember that?
They didn't mention Spider in the book.
They don't mention Spider, bro.
In the book, they mentioned that that Henry Hill was selling a ton of narcotics in prison.
Right.
Not this book, but in the other book.
Okay.
Lufthansa Heist. I'm sorry, Wise Guys.
Wise Guys.
And he stole a lot of drugs, bro, in prison, bro.
Yeah, that's the thing, is they didn't talk about how much, and again, because it was Henry Hill's own recollection of what was happening. So I don't think that they were going to talk about the amount of drugs he was dealing. But
this right here, man, would be good to put in a clip for the History for Foos. Hey, man, I know we're talking about the Lufthansa Heist and Goodfellas, but there's a scene in Goodfellas where Henry Hill, the character that's being portrayed by Ray Liotta,
Liotta.
and when she looks over the thing and sees Rossi. Anyways,
Yes.
when she's walking to visit him, if you slow down the movie, there's this bald-headed dude getting a nice little BJ, bro.
He's getting head. Bro, I noticed that last night. He's getting head, and then the next
All
over
nonchalant,
is
bro.
someone doing lines, and then the next one is a lady changing her baby.
All nonchalant, bro. It's like, don't worry about Karen bringing in fucking a trench coat full of salamis
Right.
and lobsters and wine bottles. This guy's over there like she's being distracted by this guy
Yeah. With her kids, too, bro.
in front of everybody.
In front of everybody. There's a lady changing the baby right next to him. The scene in that, remember when he goes, "Oh, come this way, Miss Hill," and it's a tall black dude. That guy's mentioned in the book as well. Like, remember, because he pays that guy in the book,
Yeah.
and then that guy takes care of them. That guy's like the guard that takes care of him throughout the time that he's in prison.
Hey, how about? And I always knew this, man, and I just never knew his name ever. And in Goodfellas, there's they mention him a little bit, but he's in a movie too. And in the Robert Lounge crew, which was Henry Hill and Jimmy Burke's crew,
Right.
they were all of different nationalities, okay, but they were mostly Italian.
Right.
But one of them was actually Hispanic, and he was pretending to be Italian the whole time. His name was Manri.
Is this in the book?
Yeah, in this book we
Is this
read.
the book we just read?
Yeah,
Oh, that's right. He's the guy that talks to.
and then they didn't find out they were in prison, and they found out this guy's actually he's Spanish,
Right. He's like Puerto Rican or Dominican.
Puerto Rican. Yeah.
Yeah, that's right. That's the guy.
In the book, he's in the movie when he's going at and it was this guy, and then it was that guy, and it was Joey Two Nose, and then there's that guy turns gently like
I'm gonna
this.
get the papers. Get the papers.
He barely turns like that,
Right.
but they don't mention his name. He had a little mustache, bro,
Right. Yes.
and you could tell he's Puerto Rican in the movie.
Right. You're right.
And he's always on the side laughing too, bro. He looks Mexican. Bro.
right. I remember thinking that guy.
His
looks
name is
Puerto Rican.
Manri in real life.
And that's the guy in the book who does. He approves the whole project. He approves the whole Lufthansa heist.
Yeah.
He goes and talks to Werner, and then that guy's. I don't know. He's not the mastermind. He's the architect.
Yeah.
Because he goes to Werner, the guy that works for Lufthansa, and he and according to Jimmy Burke, he's supposed to go there and shoot holes through the concept. But that's when he's the guy who comes back and goes, "There's no holes in this. This is a perfect plan."
What's up, everybody? History for Fools,
History
Butch Escobar,
for fools.
Felipe Esparza. If you want to hear more about the Lufthansa heist, we recommend read the book.
Yeah, it's such a good book.
We're going to
Such a good
get
book.
Xavier a stool next time.
Yeah, sorry, bro. We're gonna take
What's
care of
up, everybody? Also, man, check out all my dates at felipeworld.com. I'm going to Australia, and I don't know when I'll be
you.
back.
Woo!
No, actually, cut that out because this will be aired when I'm in Australia.
This will be playing before you go to Australia.
So what's up, everybody? History for Fools, Butch Escobar. Follow him.
Long Beach.
Huh?
Long Beach.
I'll be in Long Beach. Show is sold out.
But you could come catch me in one of my shows, so check me out at Butch Escobar on Instagram.
All right, everybody. Don't get whacked.